Well, hello, everybody. How are you doing? It is I. And if you're here, then you're in the right place. The universe has come together and we are all unified. Maybe only the one few places that we can actually say we are unified because we come together here as a group. We love one another. We support one another. And that's what it is. So welcome. Favor be to you. Nothing missing, nothing broken. May it be your ever constant reality. And so this is a second look. And my lovely co-host, Miss Trina Phoenix. How you doing, Miss Trina?
I'm wonderful. And how are you? And how are you, beautiful Kaz? Thank you for
Yes,
being
we have a
here.
Good,
guest.
thanks. Yeah.
Kaz
So good
Hawks
to
is
see
joining us.
you.
Kaz, I love it when you're on. And so good. Jenny will be joining us shortly. She sent me an email. The girl's climbing ladders and up and down, and well, I know that. I know that feeling.
Don't
Uh,
we all? Don't we all?
yeah.
All three of us, all four of us, we're movers.
Mm-hmm.
All four of
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Yep. Jenny, Kaz, me, you, we're all movers.
And definitely in realms that sometimes we're not even aware of.
Yeah.
I'll be visiting a different realm probably tomorrow. I've just finished growing some mushrooms.
Well, we love mushrooms. I mean,
Yeah, the
yeah.
magical ones.
Well,
And
it's a
I've got,
proven thing. It's a proven medical
got a little
science
jar.
here, that psilocybin in the doses and in micro doses it's one of the best things for depression.
Yeah.
You don't need to take chemicals. You don't need to take mind altering type chemicals. This is what nature provided. And I guess nature must have said, these humans are pretty susceptible to being depressed and depressed. So I'm going to help them out a little bit, And so when you say, oh, shit, she says, that's my point.
It was much yesterday.
Well, that's where they come from. I mean, at least that's how. Back in the day, I lived outside. It was in Houston, but I lived up in Spring, Texas for a while, and there were fields, cow fields, and get the certain temperature and certain humidity, and we had fun out there. I've told the story many times. How the cows surrounded us, and I swear they knew we were getting high.
They do know. They do.
I mean, it's just freaking all of us out. And it's one of my best, fondest memories of mushrooms was when the cows started talking. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh-huh.
All it is, I think, is a dimensional frequency. I was thinking about that the other day. It's how animals, I bet they don't hear the same way we do. Everything I bet is different, but we're still connected through these frequencies, but we're all perceiving them a little bit different. So their hearing is like more extreme than ours. They have different. Yeah. So we're all seeing things very different.
I was definitely
we're still connected. Yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday. I had them in the dehydrator, right? Like drying out. And I got distracted as you do in the garden. I was tidying up and everything. And all of a sudden I smelt them. I smelt them and I was like, that smells like from when I was picking them. And it was them telling me to come in and turn the bloody thing off.
Yeah.
But I sensed them and smelt them.
Yeah.
And it's like I heard them. It was amazing. I went, oh, sorry.
I know telepathy is real. I have telepathy with my dog.
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah. I did.
We have squirrels here. We have one beautiful doe. I mean, she's a good 150, 175 pounds on the hoof. And I've reached out with her. So animals talk. They think. They dream. My dog dreams.
Yeah.
We catch her running. She see little paws are just running.
Making
little face twitches.
So Jenny says, I'm on the way. Zoom updating. Know that feeling, hon. That means you haven't turned it on. How's everyone in the chat room? Pen Greedy and Joyce and Deborah. How you doing? Elderberry and Coke Queen. What's going on, Bojo? Yeah, so this is this is going to be one of those shows because, going around in circles, things here in the United States are about to get really funky. And it's being delivered. And I don't know about everybody else, but for moi, I'm having more moments of this clarity that I truly am not of this realm. I am literally, there's times, ladies, where I can actually see myself. I'm looking down and I'm in this freaking, whatever the hell this thing is. I mean, this is a freak show beyond freak shows. And I was meditating because my dreams have been off the scale. And so I'm meditating and I'm speaking out into the universe. And I heard this and it says, my son, you are immersed into the realm of deception. This is the realm where everything seems to be one thing, but is the other. And this voice told me, it says, be at peace. You are not in this realm. You are merely injected into it at the moment. So deception.
That is so true. Oh. Oh my gosh, it's like that's just the straight up bottom line. Let me lay it out for you. Fact.
Yeah, we ain't got time to do all this other nonsense. There's Jenny.
Hi, Jen.
Yeah.
Hey, Jenny.
Hi, Jenny.
Say something, Jenny. Oh, it's connecting. I can see it. It says
okay, cool.
Connecting to, and now it says that she's connected.
Are you there, Jenny?
Jenny, are you buzzed in?
We can't hear you yet. Oh.
Yeah, can you hear
There
me?
she is.
Hey, I've had to update Zoom and I'm on the telephone right now, and I'm in the corner. So
You are in the corner.
We're here, but you're here. Yay.
Is it getting dark there?
No, it's quite bright, but I've just put myself somewhere in a corner because I've realized I chopped up all of the chairs just last night. I started looking for a chair while Zoom was updating and realized I burnt them all. I wasn't thinking. So I'm reclaiming everything, you see. So everything's vulnerable right now to being burnt or chopped up or reassigned. So yeah, I haven't really thought that one through.
Oh, you're so funny.
It's
like,
beautiful.
I'm clearing this energy. Oh shoot, I forgot I need a chair.
I was living in the moment.
I love this girl. Yeah, that is truly being in the moment. I mean, wow, I love that. Well, Jenny, you're looking fine. I hear that you're quite the remodeler these days.
Yeah, I've been plastering, painting, all sorts. So yeah, there's no devilish goings on because my hands are very busy. Very busy.
That's the old idiom, what day? Idle's hands are the devil's playground.
Yeah. There's no play here. They're all blistered and busy.
Well, so much for the manicure, but anyway.
It never lasts. It lasts about half an hour.
So are you
tell me what my dream was?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I had a dream about a massive, massive butterfly.
Did you now?
And it was beautiful. It was so vivid. And I've wrote it all down because I thought I've got to write this down. It was like, it had blue-green wings and it had an eye on each wing. And it landed on my arm. And it stayed there for ages. And it kept going off, flying around the room and landing back on my arm. It was massive.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was amazing. It really touched me. Yeah. I didn't know, because I know butterflies are like transformation, aren't they?
That is transformation, and the colors are significance too. You know what's interesting? When you just mentioned the butterfly came through, because I was thinking about that this morning. Speculation and theory, of course, we're just lolly-gag and have no evidence of anything. But as I was seeing in a vision, blue is a protective shield right now. And then I saw that those strange fires that were happening, blue things weren't burning, which was interesting. So just a note to say that's definitely transformation and also peace, protection, just a whole bunch of different aspects of beauty with the blue, and the yellow is the sun. So the golden ray energy in
All right. So
transformation.
we didn't
Beautiful.
talk about any of this, did we?
No,
Right? No, none of us got here. Jenny, you
no.
got in late. And so give me 1 second as it gets pulled up.
Do you
As we
remember
wait.
when I was pulling up a while ago, the reading, Susie Q will remember, because it was a real tangent. I went on about the yellow and blue magic being used against us as colour frequencies over the last 3-4 years. So that butterfly and those colours coming to you signifies that you often with energy, you combat it with the same frequency, but with different intents. You know, so the blue and yellow can be used with very different intent against more negative blue and yellow being used.
Yeah, and see, we're transforming it. We're turning it opposite. We're flipping it on its head. Taking
This
it
is what was out my on
That's
my deck.
amazing.
That's
Wow.
beautiful, Wayne.
I mean,
Wow.
that looks really big. That looks like the size mine was.
I'm just saying the synchronicity is very
that is
interesting.
beautiful.
And yeah, so I just thought I'd share that. And
That's
How
beautiful.
you know,
It's
yeah,
beautiful.
I don't
It
know
was
what
that blue. It was that colour blue.
I know
with
that butterflies
pale.
mean that there's transition in many dream interpretations, depending on particularly the color. It is a good omen. It's a sign that there is breakthrough. And of course, the colors also have a important role in that as well.
Yeah.
And butterflies are transformation, always transformation.
They are.
It's also to mind control. You know, it's got a lot of negative and positive symbology to it. And we know what team we're working for. So I think it's a beautiful dream.
I'll have to pull it up. I also have a golden butterfly, and
oh, wow.
she has returned a couple of times. I'll get the pictures of her.
You keep getting hit with the golden serpents, the golden,
It's
the
freaking
golden
everywhere, man.
It all started with the rainbow.
You know, it's like, okay, let the light come in. And by the way, just to let everyone know where I live, it's been freaking hot. I mean, I have never. Yesterday, we went out. This is like 6:30 in the morning. It's 84 degrees. It is 99% humidity. It's not raining, but it was like walking into a tropical jungle, the Amazon. So it's freaking hot here.
Oh,
when that temperature, but it's really humid and clammy here, isn't it? It's so humid and clammy here. I've literally thrown this dress on top of a painted bra because I've been wearing it.
Hey, listen.
I don't wear bra.
I'll be talking about this, but you know, I'm really thinking about starting a channel with the naked philosophers. I think that to me is just one of the best freaking things. So Jenny, I don't know, when you said that, I just suddenly had, you know, this Woodstock thing in my head, you know.
Because I was decorating today and I had this bra on and I'm sort of pulling it here and pulling it there, and I thought, this is bloody ridiculous. I'm in the house on my own. So I took it off, and actually I did look at my breasts, you know, and I'd gotten paint all over them. And I thought, you know what, they're really nice things. And why have they been sexualized to such a point where men can have their tops off?
Bingo.
Women in the jungle do not wear bras that are uncomfortable, yet I'm standing here painting in a bra that is digging in every kind of size.
I don't wear them anymore.
Oh,
I took mine out the window of the van when I was driving, and it was the best feeling in the world. I was overheating, and it was my bra, and I took it off, and I went, "Get off me!" And I was like, "Oh,
it's ridiculous."
That is the best feeling."
I love this show.
Ended up on the road behind me.
No, we don't need those.
I've not worn since. I've not worn. That was 2 years ago.
Dina says fans only channel. You know, listen, I think it could be a whole new movement. I mean, you know, becoming part of the naked philosophers.
That I had today. It's a long, hard thought that I had today of when did the boobies get imprisoned? what happened, what made it happen, because it's got to be reversed now.
Well, here's
No,
something.
it's not
It's
here. I mean, it's mainly just here though. Like Europeans, all their beaches, people are topless. It seems to be a Western thing. It doesn't seem
Well,
to be
the
a global thing.
British
I mean,
the
other
Brit-
than Islam, I mean, because they
yeah,
don't allow that at all. But the European countries, they're really open with
well,
that.
yeah,
Mm.
it's a British thing as well, because really we
yeah,
really are in
it's
Europe, but
Western.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
Yeah.
this West Christianity thing where the
yeah.
corsets came in and the pin-up, women doing bleaching in pin-up style clothing on the
Well, it
advert.
wasn't a woman who invented the bra. It was a dude. Like, what the
Well,
hell is, why would a dude invent a bra when you don't have to wear one?
yeah,
How would you
These
know?
are these are all culture things, though. We got to start just busting all the culture and embrace what you love and just,
Well, there was a woman
do
in
what you want.
Iowa, I believe. She walked down, I think it was in Des Moines, and she was arrested for public nudity,
Breastfeeding.
lewdness, obscenity. So when she got there, she challenged it. She apparently was wealthy enough and had an attorney, and she proved in court, and the court agreed with her that we have a double standard. If men are allowed, you can't have equal right, equal protection under the Constitution if one class by sex and by gender is prohibited to show the anatomy of their body.
yeah.
Right.
So basically, in Islam, they do it in your face. The British, more Christian way is to do it surreptitiously by
Yeah.
making it crime against decency, so that women cover up, but actually taking it to law, you're quite right. At the grassroots level, there shouldn't be any difference.
There can't be. I love clever Gypsy, by the way. Hello, dear. Good to see you. She says, I'm a tall gal. Bras keep me from poking people in their eyes.
Right.
Being
I
small,
love it.
it touches up tall ladies, so I'm right in that part.
Oh, I got to
love
tell
it.
you, as a male, I can actually see that, man. I can actually see that happening.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Jeez. Oh,
For
laughter
real.
doeth the heart is a good medicine. So,
Yeah, we need a lot of that right now.
woo, that
Yeah.
is so freaking cool. Thank you. Thank you. Gaia says our breasts are so beautiful. Yeah, I mean, even the Hebrew
Yeah.
God called himself the El Shaddai, meaning the multi-breasted one.
Multi-breasted one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
I
nourisher.
mean, I like the movie Paul, where who was the guy that was the artist who actually drew the girl with 3 breasts, and the one agent said, well, why not 4? And the guy looked at me and said, well, that's just disgusting.
It's like it's okay to have 3 eyes.
It's
but
all right to have
not
3,
okay to have
but
4.
4, you're
But
going
4,
way up
it's
beyond the
you just
door.
over the edge. Yeah.
I love this group. I truly, truly do. You see, it wasn't even on well, there wasn't an agenda to begin with. We do fly by the seat of our pants here,
Well, going round in circles, I can tie this in. I can bring this home, because the whole thing that we're talking about things like this being inhibited, that go against all types of common sense, that they're literally just ideologies that somehow very surreptitiously become laws in our own mindset, are the very things that continue these continuous loops. So the same way revelation has been jolted out of the stage from far left every year in the Christian community, and now it's sneaked into the spiritual community, it's in the conspiratorial community. Everything is built on the religious blueprint that hijacked this space not so long ago. You only touch on certain parts of those cycles when they affect you or when they move you deeply. So if you haven't got an expansive mind and an empathetic mind in order to put yourself in the place of other people where different parts of the cycles with the same blueprint have touched them too, it can go on and on and on. So now we have street preachers that are preaching against the cabal while using religious texts that actually promote the laws that they say they're fighting against. So again, it repeats. It's on repeat, just different titles of roles on repeat, the same cycle. This cycle hasn't been going on so long. I know it hasn't. I know that there was liberation, much more liberation than they like to tell us about before the religious hijack of hijack common sense.
Right there with you on that. And Jenny, what my spirit guide said this morning, this is the realm of deception. Nothing is what it seems like here. And I mean, we're about to, again, we're about to have lockdowns here in this country. We're about to start going back to where it was, in 2020. And, I've been thinking about this, and I'll just go ahead and kind of announce it here. I've really been thinking about leaving YouTube and going over on Rumble, because Rumble is a much more freer platform, it has very little censorship, if nothing. And so because of what's going to be happening, I can't speak here. I stopped monetizing this channel because I didn't want to take money that, number one, I felt went against my principles. And I want to be able to come on a platform to where we can talk open and freely as adults, as free thinkers, but you can't do that on YouTube.
No, I'm finding it difficult too. I'm getting lots of downloads, things I want to say.
You can't say them.
And I think, how can I even word that? How can I even approach that?
I mean, I simply said last week on Thursday, about this whole how climate and man, and I got the blue banner, according to the UN, and I'm going, the UN, really? The UN? Anyway, so what I need everyone to do that listens to this channel, if you would, I've left the link. In fact, I'll pull it up. Ladies, allow me to have some self gratification here at the moment. So this is my Rumble channel. All the videos that I do here on YouTube are transferred over to Rumble. So if you will go over there and subscribe, I won't be monetizing because, quite frankly, I just think that we're a group that, I don't need to charge you for something that you probably wouldn't want to buy anyway. So check it out, please, if you would. And probably here, and as we move forward on this, I'll be announcing more as to when I will be making that break. So there.
See, leading
Have you heard about?
I've just subscribed there. I've just
thank you, dear. Thank you. Well, I think
I'm on this.
It's there's so much going on. Trina, I know you and I were
AI rewriting the Bible.
Boy, there's so many roads we can go down. I mean, I heard I had some business I had to do on unexpectedly over the weekend, and I'm realizing more and more when I interact with people, particularly in business and finance, I don't think like I used to. And I'm realizing something's different here because they believe in that narrative that I'm just saying, no, you don't understand. That's not reality. But anyway, that's just me. What do you say, Trina? You got that beautiful smile on your face. I can hear your thoughts, honey.
It's just so true. When you wake up to this, what this is, it changes everything. You don't think the same anymore. You don't choose to do the same things that you used to do anymore. It changes everything because you realize there's got to be a purpose to this game. So, then you just look at things different. It's not about the things that you used to think were important. It's about love, community, relationships, the difference you can make in the world, how to affect the world in a positive way. Because obviously that would be the only reason you'd even be here, is to learn what death is like, go through the whole death process and know that this is, you get thinking this is what you are, when that's not at all what you are. This is a part of what you are. It's just not what you are at all. So, you're a fractal of the higher part of you, which is the self, which is interesting because I was getting so much information about It's a serpentine seraphim electromagnetic life force is self.
And
in
that's
earth, and that's
everything
why
you
it's in
said.
sin. Sin is a sine wave. It's a frequency that snapped light into matter. So it's a sine wave. So you were born into sin as a sine wave. It's a frequency. So it's that they were showing me the self as this sine wave, serpentine, seraphim, angel light thing, but the electromagnetic field hit it and it produced the elf. So we're the self. It was just all this information was just coming in through the elf and the
Yeah.
self, and I was like, and it's all serpentine light, and it was invisible, and then it went to geometry, and it snapped into matter and created the electromagnetic spectrums and light and prisms of light and prisms of light and cells, prisms and cells, and I'm like, holy shit.
Could
Smith
you say
Wigglesworth. Go ahead, Jenny.
Could
What's
you
that,
say
dear?
those 5 things? Could Trina say those 5 things again that she said? It's the sin.
Serpentine. What were the 5 things, Trina?
Serpentine, seraphimic. It was like they showed me 3 aspects of the S of the self.
Yeah, and that's the pentagram. You actually very flowing did 5 representations of the serpentine mother, and all
Oh, wow.
esoteric readings of ancient times speak to the serpent mother, which is why it's been
Yeah.
demonized now into sin. And so the sinful woman, the sinful goddess, you know, they're always sinful, whereas it wasn't. It's actually that she DNA wise, serpentine, seraphim, and that electromagnetic friction was what created matter. It's the mother that you're picking up on, and you can't deny it when you meet her. Like you
I know.
smiling because you can't deny it. You feel it. You feel
No.
the force of
Yes.
it.
And you remember that part of
Yeah.
yourself and how you created your own self, and holy macaroni, it's deep.
Yeah.
It's also exactly the structure you just said. If you study what the synaptic nerves do when you lay down the synaptic pathways in your brain, these pathways are tubular, but they're electric, and they are serpentine, and the energy within them is how thought is carried. And as you were talking, when I closed my eyes, so there was a guy that lived back in the 1920s called Smith Wigglesworth. He was able to call down the Shekinah glory of God. And the Shekinah glory is a cloud that is manifested that has a light and a frequency to it. And the interesting thing is you read about the accounts of when he was doing this, there was so much static electric around that people could not enter into the room where he was at, calling down whatever this was.
Yeah. That's like the presence of the ark.
Yeah.
When you get those powerful frequencies brought in through different materials or different
This is what I think they're trying to do to us now. I sense, ladies, deeply in my spirit, something is trying to manipulate that sine wave, that sin.
Yeah, it is. They're interrupting it, particularly when people sleep. They're interrupting time and space with it, and they absolutely have got people hooked into it. I described years ago of them building, before metaverse was even mentioned, of them building a conscious realm, a realm within a realm that they could fully control in the conscious field. They're not fighting for just land, they're fighting for conscious space. And so they've been interrupting those waves for a long time, and I can feel it, you can palpate it. And it's and the same way we can use those waves with intent for great purposes, great healing, but you know, they can be used just as adequately and brilliantly for negative purposes and negative responses. It's they're doing it a lot right now. You can
Well, they're creating a situation that doesn't even exist, but they're creating it even as we speak. And Jenny, to your point, and it's amazing because once people get into the fear wave, they're their wave on their normal sin is altered. And I have seen fear. I've seen it in my dreams. I've actually seen its peripheral, and it's a black goo-like, but it's deeper amber and red, but it contaminates, and when it comes in, it covers everything with its essence.
Yeah.
And it's difficult to cleanse yourself from that.
Yes.
Well, black goo is programmable matter. We know about black goo being programmable matter, and it's self-combobulating. It finds other black goo and moves towards itself. There is a substance such as black goo, and they're saying the graphene oxide is a derivative of that. That can be used.
It's a great thing though. We're starting to find ways to remedy this. So, it's like it's dirty, gooey, icky stuff. Okay, what do we do to get rid of oils? We get it with Dawn dish soap, right? Look to borax. We're starting to find ways to help. So
red clover, drink red clover tea, red and white clover, great for detox.
There's ways to get this stuff out of the body. I don't know how much we're getting out, or but I know it's coming out. Those foot baths, the electromagnetic foot baths, those are powerful. I mean, there's ways, that's Jesus worked on the feet a lot. The whole body comes out of the foot. These are teachings of healing. These are ancient
grounding with copper on the sole.
Yes.
Even
onions in the bottoms of the foot, and go to sleep with socks on. Those just pull out.
That's odd that you're saying this. It's in the bedroom, but I wear Tommy Coppers both for the feet and the hands that are copper infused, and that's how I go to bed. You guys
see those wristbands all the time I wear. Those are Tommy Copper.
Yeah.
And I'm sporting one on my knee right now.
See? So then we got a little boobie, and now we got a little bit of leg. So,
just a little bit, but
hit the like button,
I love Tommy Coppers. That's my product. I don't know why. It's miraculous for my body. Copper is miraculous for my body. Miraculous.
Well, we don't have enough of it in our food now because they've stripped it so much from the soil. We used to have a huge amount of copper in the soil that then we would ingest. So we got it from there. But copper infused pillowcases I've found to be great for Will is at the age where acne could happen. I changed him to copper infused pillowcases. Gone. I realized that bacteria can grow really well on cotton. And so cotton pillowcases shouldn't be used unless they're infused with silver or copper. So, you could put your own copper there if you like.
It's so interesting. You know what? I sleep on a copper infused foam pad.
Yeah, it's brilliant because bacteria can't grow where copper is.
Yeah.
So copper or silver. But that's a great tip for anybody that is getting acne, maybe on one side of their cheek.
And remember too, it pulls out venom. So if you get a bug bite, a mosquito bite, a spider bite, anything, put a copper on that wound and it will draw the venom out, especially if you get it on onset. I've seen it save people with bee stings, save their lives.
Love it.
Not have to go to the hospital and stuff. So amazing for copper. Copper is super happy. Ooh, love copper.
Yeah.
However, Gypsy, we got to get you on. I like some of your comments. She's got a really good idea in this.
I do.
So what's that?
I do like some of Gypsy's comments. It's
I'm reading that and I'm going, of course I like all of them, but it's interesting there. Kaz, you've been quiet, dear. What's that, hon?
No, I'm just listening.
Well, I'm going to say this. Go ahead, Jenny.
Sorry, my microphone's so bad. I am going to buy a new one for this office, so I'm not interrupting. But the prayer, the REM prayer, I realized the other day, I went praying into tongues because I had to lift William up. I actually lifted him up to you, Wayne, and you, Trina, in that prayer because he'd been having a bit of a tough time. And I realized when I go into deep tongues, my eyelids flutter, and I thought I heard REM sleep in my spirit voice, as I was talking. And I realized that also tongues, that's what it does for people. When you feel that powerful wave when you're in a room and everybody starts praying in tongues, just like you described the electromagnetic field that guy could create. And usually what people are losing the most right now, and I know it's a deliberate act, is REM sleep through these frequencies that they're playing to interrupt the amount of REM sleep, deep sleep that you get into, where you really slip into that subconscious field. And so it's something to say about, singing, dancing, putting your body in flow, making the vibrational sounds to train yourself to be able to get into that REM space, whether you're awake or sleeping, to counteract this interruption that we're having regarding frequency and regarding how connected to self we feel. So, something to think.
That's so beautiful, because I've been getting so much of that lately too. It's like, you got to remember to get back to the polarity of things. And that was an instruction I received when I was in school. It was called Polarity, and I have a license in Polarity. So when you learn polarity, you learn to integrate all those things you were just speaking of, Jen. It is so important right now that we integrate with sound, motion, movement. We have to work our body and our physical space as well as the heart center and the spiritual space. We have to blend them together, because when you do that, that's when that divine marriage happens, and you can put your physical body back together. You can get inspired if you have a problem or you're stuck or you need guidance. This is when you have those aha moments. This is all the things we can do to fix ourselves and fix the world, but it takes work, and you need to integrate sound, movement, energy, prayer, all these things to uplift you and connect you to the spiritual part and the logical part, because when they blend, that's when you activate your serpent power.
Yeah. It's so important right now to reclaim a lot of the practices that we've had to sort of steer away from so much, because they've been so used for negative gain in religious formats, in cult formats.
They invert it all. I mean, this is the true, be wise as the serpent and gentle as the dove. This is that divine marriage they're talking about, but nobody understands it.
Well, I mean, you think about the irony, so here's Jesus saying, be as wise as a serpent. I mean, he could have chosen anything to say, be wise as, but no, he goes to the serpent. What is that telling you?
Mother.
Right there in front of us.
He's not kidding.
They say as well, and this is just for fun, but somebody said to me the other day on a message, and I don't reply back on Messenger, so it's a bit useless, but I do see them sometimes, and and they said, you worship false idols, you worship dead idols and dead gods. And I was like, I saw the picture on the profile and they were wearing Jesus on the cross.
You're like, oh my gosh, you have an idol on your neck.
Yeah, I did one.
And for some reason, I'm seeing Jeff Foxworthy, with the Jesus on a stick. It's just, like the jalapeno on the
Jeff Dunham. Jalapeno on a stick.
Senor.
Totally. Oh my gosh.
I'm the Jesus on a stick.
Jalapeno on a stick.
You get the point.
Oh my gosh. Laughter does a heart good medicine. Oh my goodness. Oh,
I'm just Jesus on a stick.
Everything is a deception. Yeah, it's so what you got today, Wayne. That's the whole right there. I mean, if we could just remember that, then we start to laugh about all of this stupid shit. It's like, wow, we really bought that.
Oh man, oh man, oh man.
Cognitive dissonance right now is just so
and people aren't really laughing anymore. It's odd. I was reading an article in Variety, and it was saying the demise of the comedy clubs. One time that was, they were everywhere, but now people are so on edge that they're so touchy. You can't have something you can like. I mean, you couldn't have a Phyllis Diller or Don Rickles or any of the old time, comedians. No, they would be considered racist and, homophobic and the whole bit. But gosh.
Well, in that circuit, if I love Sam Tripoli, I think he's a brilliant comedian from your end of your side of the pond.
Yeah.
Sam is been on such a spiritual journey. He's so awake, and for me, good comedians like that can take what we've just spoken about, that cognitive dissonance of like, you've got a dead idol there,
Right.
they can take that and they can observe it, and they can put it in a way that just levels the playing field for the whole audience. So the real esoteric truths, or the real truths that they're trying to see, just sneak through the laughter, and under the surface. And so people, that they're a powerful thing. The fool, the comedian, they're a very powerful tool, because when you're laughing, your ego steps aside, you're more open to listening, you're not feeling inhibited by, you can make fun of yourself and be roasted, and it's fun, because the comedian can strip away at you in a way that's actually quite pleasurable. Whereas if somebody was saying those things to you just in a nasty way, your ego would be ready to fight them. You'd be like, who are you talking to? But
Absolutely.
I still got the Jesus on a stick, going over my head.
I'm telling
I love the
you.
way you say that.
It's making me, I'm going to hear that all night now. But
It's so funny. They give us all these gods, all these ancient gods, all these beautiful deities and beautiful beings, and they all have different personalities and different ways and different theologies about them. And it's the greatest thing. It's like they taught everybody to worship all these beings, and it's like the deeper you go into yourself and you like start to go into your DNA code, you realize it's like they're all part of my family code. Holy crap. Those blue ones, the green ones, they're all part of us. We're all the same stuff. It's so crazy. So there's no division. It's all the same stuff. It's just operating different avatars, which gets different perception, different.
It does terrible things to the consciousness because we know that those things are within us. So that if you can have like religious sects calling out Odin to be evil, or the Islam God to be awful, you're literally, there's a part of you that you're calling out as evil.
That is Odin. Yeah.
Stop. It's
so I just heard this. Worship is the lowest form of consciousness. There's a higher form, because you cannot be in love and worship.
Yes.
The two are dramatically opposed to each other.
You can't be sovereign and worship. You cannot have
bingo.
You cannot be sovereign in yourself.
I just heard that. It is just like
you want to know who cried buckets of tears to me over worship? I couldn't believe this. It broke my reality apart. But I had such compassion, and I understood what she was saying. The Virgin Mother. Oh boy. Oh boy, it was buckets of tears. She was like, I was not intended to be worshipped.
No,
I get that feeling with Lilith, but it's amazing, the admiration and respect I have for that. And I don't know if it's an energy. I don't know if it's a personification. It is definitely a consciousness. Yes,
absolutely. It's a consciousness, and she's attached to the moon, and she's attached to multiple layers of creation.
I tried to tell someone that the other day, and they looked at me. Well, they already think I worship the devil, but it doesn't matter. It's like, you've changed, Wayne. You used to be this real loving person that we could come to for prayer. Now you don't even speak his name. And I said, well, tell me in the book where he ever called himself that name.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to get technical about that, show me in the fucking Bible where Jesus said, my name is Jesus of Nazareth. Never said that.
Or show me a J. A J didn't exist.
Well, we can't get about that now.
Where's the J in the Hebrew language? When did that come in? Oh, never. It's so crazy. But
it's It's nuts. And that was a commentary by my opinion only.
Yeah, well,
but if you believe that,
like I said, I know that there was all these characters in our experiences to show us what we have as a potential. And that's the only reason they were here. They were not here to be worshiped. They were here to teach. And everybody missed the whole boat on that. And that's when I realized that we're all part of the same family. There's no higher lineage than another. This breaks the paradigm when you fully comprehend
why does
this.
humanity need a God?
We don't, and we don't need kings, and we don't need leaders.
I mean, I'm just asking a simple question for a friend.
We need each other. We need the diversity of each other. That's the fullness
it's
of
this
creation.
God thing that divides everybody. Because you and I can never agree on.
Yeah, it's not God. Don't blame God for what stupid people
But why
did.
does humanity need a God?
Because they've been trained and programmed with the worship.
It's subservient.
Gene. We have a worship gene. A science has found it.
What's that, Jenny?
It's not a real God. This is
right
into the consciousness that is completely made up by human and has been completely distorted. You see, all of the gods, like Nina just asked about Odin, is Odin Enki. To me, they're interchangeable because the god essences are in the elements. Now, I never worship anything, but I'm damn sure I give reverence to the elementals and the elements because they can take me out or they can take.
Well, you pissed them off and you got trouble on your hands, sister.
You know, there's nothing wrong with honor and respect. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing. You want to honor people that are smarter than you and look at them as the wisdom that they are. There is so much to that part. You got to be. Honor and respect is so important, and gratitude. These are family. This is part of our creation here. So we're all in this together. So that's okay. But to worship, that means I give you all of my power. That is not what you're here to learn. That's opposite.
Yeah, it is. And it's a, they've taken truths, put different slants on them to create this basically what they love to do. These people that have hijacked and been in power for so long, they love to ritually humiliate followers. So they're ritually humiliating followers by telling them not to worship dead idols, but encouraging them to wear dead ones on a cross. They're ritually humiliating them by putting experts in front of them that go against everything your natural body will tell you is good for you. And those experts are found just a few years ago to have done a lot of damage in very similar ways. But that doesn't matter now. It's a new cycle and it repeats and it repeats. And for as long as people seek things outside of themselves to worship rather than revere and respect, the more it will continue. The awakening in the spiritual community is the same as revelation in the Christian community. It gets troped out over and over again. And then they've got the stars in Hollywood. You look up to the stars in Hollywood, they give them lives that nobody could really fulfill or would want to fulfill if they know the truths of them. But people will strive to do it, because they're the stars.
You talk about actors in Hollywood and the rest of that. Isn't it interesting that the mainstream, we idolize these individuals? Why? Not because of what they are, but because they can lie and deceive us. They can play a character of deception that deceives us into thinking that this is somehow them, that this is real.
Yeah.
Holy crap, that sounds like what they were doing 10,000 years ago with Enki and Inyel and Yana. I mean, I can just go right on down the list.
Yep. I think this has been done over and over and over again. And then the aliens are going to come and they're going to pretend they're gods. And all this is probably getting ready to roll out.
Well, that's how
again.
Yahweh appears. I mean, I wish people would get in their head what they're talking about here.
Yeah.
I fully expect this Yahweh to make an appearance. He is the God of war. He is the God of pestilence and destruction. That is his calling card. And if we read in the book of Ezekiel, that's how he came here the last time.
Yeah. That would be.
And I don't know what kind of spaceship he got, But I got a feeling he's probably got laser cannons on that. He's got all sorts of shit that can just really tear us up down here. Just me.
Well, it already is in Maui, isn't it?
Isn't it though?
Yeah, it already is kind of thing, you know. It's already enacted. You know, that land grab is being
Jerry
done.
says it's an old paradigm, and that is perfectly stated. It is an old paradigm.
That's exactly right. I don't think the consciousness of this planet has fallen for it anymore. So many people are leaving religion.
Resistance.
Well, and they're leaving religion. They're questioning it. They're like, what is going on here? They know something's wrong.
There's the same accidents, Trina, not step on him, but in politics as well.
Yes.
I'm meeting more people who are just fed up. I mean, I had a couple tell me they are just effing fed up with politics. They said they left religion, they left the Baptist church, and the guy said, we can't take the politics. It's more divisive than
and you know what, Wayne?
Just blueprint. So once people leave religion, they can't stand politics because it's the same blueprint.
Same thing.
Yeah, and this is it. But see, nobody has an answer to what do you do now?
Bingo.
And this is what you do now. You've always been taught to trust your political leaders, your priests. Quit going outside of ourselves. We have to lean on each other. We have to come together. We need to be the ones that decide how things are going to go, because these people are not good people for us. And the whole world is seeing this. So if the whole world can just say, we're done with all of you and we're going to work this out ourselves somehow, some way. If enough people just had faith that we could do it, somehow we would do it. We don't know how.
You see, naked philosophers could be the beginning of that, because it's so outrageous that people could adapt to that. You know?
Yes.
I mean, they would expect to see sex, but what they're really going to get is enlightenment.
But I do think,
of course, sometimes sex is enlightenment. I don't know. Maybe enlightenment is sex. I don't know.
It comes both ways.
It can be.
It's tomato, potato. You know, I don't know.
That's how it's done.
But yeah, I think we need to temper expectations.
I've cried and laughed more on this show than I think anything else, you know.
We got to hear from Kaz.
Kaz, and I know I've been looking at, she's just, so let me just say this for Kaz. We need to send her really positive thoughts. We need to send her as well as the energy for opportunities, because we can add to her desire and I said this last Thursday, and folks, this is what it is. It's an energy gift. So I would like this group to send to Kaz Hawks an energy gift, and you can send this gift however you would like to package it to her. You can think prosperity, you can think nothing missing, you can think open doors. But for this thing.
Let's do a wedding list, Kaz. I can't see you on my screen, Kaz, but I can just see Wayne. But let's do a wedding list. You know how people, when they're getting married, create a gift list, you know, from a store. Let's do a proper list from Kaz of specific things, as long as you like, because people put long lists for their wedding list. And let's marry you to you, Kaz. Let's celebrate you like we would celebrate a wedding. You know, put a list together. I'll publish it out there to people I trust, you know, Nina, Gaia, Susie, and we'll share that list and get it done. Absolutely.
You know, it's so funny. All we need to do is send the intention that we're connecting to all the wishes on her list and help her to manifest those any way the universe desires, and it's done. It's done.
I'm seeing unlimited possibilities. Unlimited. Yeah.
You see,
we just support that.
It's good for Kaz to, I know when I'm working with people with energy, sometimes it's good for them to do that list in order to be very clear in themselves about what they want to receive, because then it really does hit hard, because she's opening up her field consciously to specific things without limiting potentials, you know, just so that your consciousness can truly accept it, Kaz, because you've written it, you've spoken it, you've listed it, it's done. So
we can be the surrogate. We can become Kaz Hawk, each and every one of us, and we can become her surrogate. I mean, she has strengths and she has other areas like we all do, but we can lend to her our gifts and talent. And just by being the proxy, she'll receive it.
Yeah.
So, Kaz, I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but anyway, how are you doing?
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Greatest words for gratitude is thank you. And that's what I tell the universe all the time. Thank you. Whoever you are, whatever you are, thank you.
Thank you. I thank me. I thank you.
Yeah.
Thank me.
Do the hokey pokey. But Kaz, I do, this is what I see, Kaz. I see doors opening, you know, because what I sense the energy of you, you're a can-do type of person. You're not one to merely sit back and see what the circumstances and I feel the energy. You are a person that wants to be an activator as opposed to a responder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doors are going to open for you, Kaz. I'm seeing it right now. There's going to, in fact, there's people who are thinking of you, and this is where that favor factor comes in, because you go to the top.
Yeah, that butterfly is more poignant even now, Kaz, than when we first mentioned it when I got here. In that makes a lot more sense to me now that you're dreaming that, and it actually gives me a lot of relief for where you are in your journey. You know that you're dreaming that so clearly. That transformation has already happened in spirit. It's coming in the physical. We've known that it's going to be delivered.
Transformation usually too. It incurs that maybe keep your eyes open to something that you've never looked at before, because this could be completely something different than that's ever been before. So be very open. Let the universe give to you what it wishes for you to have, because it'll show up. But you got to be open to all of it. Even if you're like, I've never done anything like that before, don't let fear stop you. Right now, it's time to test yourself. No fear. Just follow your faith. Follow what's your guidance in you.
My training, you know, and I tell people all the time that, you know, 50 years of Christianity was 50 years of initiation. But I was a prayer warrior, prayed in the spirit. I could, you know, call down things. I still can. There's nothing that's impossible for him who believes. You know, if you would say unto this mountain, be cast into the sea, and not doubt in your heart, but believe that those things for which you pray and ask for, you shall receive them. But first of all, forgive anyone that you may have, and it has to be in the favor. But Kaz, I understand as a prayer warrior that I can stand in the hedge as well.
Yeah.
And you know, I carry that knowledge with me. Just because I don't pray to a dead God doesn't mean it's nevertheless effective.
No, of course not. I don't think those prayers ever went to that God with you.
I don't think they did either. The dude came by and said, man, I ain't a dude. And I said, well, then who are you? He says, well, what do you think?
I'm in everything.
Exactly. You know?
Right. I'm all of it.
It used to be the stopgap, and my mum taught me very well of how I could stand in the space. For the most part, you would want somebody like that list I mentioned, you know, already being keyed into what they are willing to receive, because then, boom, it happens super quick because the receptor is open and the giver is ready to direct it. But then there is that space where you can stand in as a stopgap, as a spacer between an energy that somebody is facing and the person that is poorly or run down or low. And one thing I would like to say to you, Kaz, is that pendulum swing, often when huge transformation is about to happen, there's a sense of dullness for a lot of people. There's a sense of, you know, I was on the upswing there. There's a sense of stillness that can feel a little bit aggravating at times, you know, that it's still so still. And I think it's because a lot of people come out of the turbulence of the pendulum swing in one direction, and you have to sort of come to the bottom and sit in it a bit and build reserves again of energy, ready for the magnetic swing in the opposite direction. And I really feel that you're just there, you know, it's building that motion in the bottom of the pendulum swing. ready for all of us here to, with love, suck you up magnetically, you know, into this field of prosperity, into this field of self-realization and self-activation, and real confidence in you and what you're capable of doing.
Kaz, do you have a PayPal account?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Well, send me that, and if we could put it into the chat. Hey, Gilbert, how you doing, brother?
That would be
Gilbert is
good.
just he is so love Gilbert. But anyway, put your PayPal account into the chat and send me the link as well. And I know you're in a situation where, you know, anything can help. And so there are those of us that have the ability, and, you know, it may be £5, £10, you know, if you're going to donate here in the US, remember it's about a 1.4, 1.5 exchange rate. So let's do that. And we can help put some food on the table and make it so that you, because when you're in a financial need, the pressure can be like in a vice. And we've all been there, and we know, but a little bit of help, and it can,
a little bit of help and a little bit of hope
it goes a long way. So
tithing, we're tithing.
We are tithing. This is tithing to the community.
Tithing directly to the source that we tithe to, because we know anything that we plant in for Kaz, she's going to cultivate in a beautiful way. You know, she's our Kaz, you know, so it's tithing in a way that actually should be done and works. And so I can donate this month, and I'm lucky enough to be able to, but I would like to say to people, when you donate, do a spell on that money, whether it's
you do
touched or not. Tell that money to go forward and multiply, and for every pound, every dollar given, tell that, command it. It's an element. It's your element.
It's seed.
It can be instant. So tell that seed.
It's seed.
Grow. Yeah, tell it to grow.
That's why I love tipping. I mean, I just love tipping. And Lynn and I do it as almost as a ministry. You know, we love freaking the waitress or the waiter out, you know, and, you know, I get off on that, you know, when you start seeing the people just totally overwhelmed, and you just say,
I love that.
Oh, man. I mean, I'm a sucker for that. And I always tell them it's the universe. I said, you are loved. The universe is saying today, hey, I love you. And that's what we're going to do for you, Chaz. The universe is saying to you today, it loves you.
You're going to see in your life review how many lives that changed. You gave them hope where they had none. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Magnificent, Kaz. And I put a spell right now over every seed donated into this direction of this beautiful woman, that it cultivates and grows and multiplies so speedily, so remarkably, that Kaz is a walking, talking miracle of what it is to truly be loved, what it is to truly receive, what it is to truly be revered by others. Everything that you are here, Kaz. So shall it be, so it already is. It's done. Done.
And many times, I'll tell you this, I know this, is that receiving can be so difficult for people.
Yeah.
We love to give, but when we're in that need to receive, you know, you're like, you know, don't be that way.
I'm going to send it to you.
Okay, good. I'll put it in there in all this week's videos. So we'll put a few shekels into your hand there, Kaz, because we love you. And, you know, we do this for people, not all the time, but, you know, I move by the Spirit. And so I've been moved by the Spirit. Hallelujah. I love you so. But anyway.
I'm so glad you're moved, Wayne.
So anyway, all right, we've gone over on this. Thank you, ladies. Always fun. This is just Kaz, we love you. Jenny goes without saying, and Miss Trina as well. So
Much love. Much love to you all, Wayne, Jenny, Cass.
and into this tribe. Thank you.
Whole tribe.
You are the best, and much love to all of you. And to those who are moved, follow your intuition. If you're not, that ain't no big deal. It's all right. But that's the thing. Start following your intuition. If you follow your intuition, I'll just say this, as a poker player, you'd be surprised how many times you will win. All right.